Welcome to Sunday Dharma service. It's so nice to see you all this morning. I always say that this is my favorite view in the whole world. I get to see all the seats fill up. It's the most beautiful view. Um, so this morning, I was noticing the seasons. We notice how it gets to be August, right? Seasons start to change and can feel that, you feel that shift and change. So I went outside to take a breath and noticed that there were lots of animals outside. And there was a bunny. And I had a lovely conversation with the bunny, who was a great listener, by the way, about the preciousness of our human lives. And I realized as the bunny went away that when we gather this morning, this is what we are able to kind of witness, this moment of taking a breath, taking a pause, and noticing this precious human life that we have. So today, when we practice, we're going to practice our sitting meditation and chanting like we always do, and we'll hear a Dharma talk by Reverend Ginger. And so we can, with our utmost sincere and open hearts and minds, really kind of embrace this precious moment. So let's begin by opening today, as we always do, with gratitude and prayer to our Dharmakaya Buddha, Il Song, One Circle Image. So let us all rise. So take a moment to bring your palms together in front of your chest. Let us bring our hearts and minds together and pause and ground in this precious gift that is our lives. And we bow in gratitude to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite beneficence of nature and the universe. We bow in gratitude to the grace of parents, grateful for the parents that gave birth to us, those that raised us, our ancestors, our teachers, and all those who have had a nurturing role in our lives. We bow in gratitude to the grace of fellow beings, honoring and recognizing the truth of interconnectedness. And we bow in gratitude to the grace of laws, those that guide us, protect us, and promote justice. Now please take a moment to say hello with your open minds, hearts, beautiful smiles to your neighbor Buddhas. Take a moment to make yourselves comfortable. And then Patty will guide us further in the method of sitting meditation. Relax in your seat. And simply drop the shoulders. We'll spend a moment here, just welcoming gratitude being together and practicing together.
The method of sitting meditation is simple and easy. Sit comfortably on the floor or in a chair. Breathe in. Grab all your tension and breathe it out. Open up your chest and heart. Stretch up tall and align your spine from your neck to your tailbone. Relax your shoulders and arms. Then allow your hands to rest on your knees. Bring your attention to your breath. As you exhale, release all mental and physical tension. Invite your attention to abide in your chi energy field, which is called Dharma. This is located about 2 inches below your navel and is the power center for your breathing. Open your eyes and gaze downward over the end of your nose and to the floor. Keep your mouth closed and allow the tip of your tongue to rest gently against the roof of your mouth. When your mind is concentrated and calm, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. You may swallow it. Relax your facial muscles and notice your gentle smile. If your face or body begins to itch, do not scratch. This is just a sign of the energy circulating in your body. Simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain a calm stillness and do not interrupt others. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged or disturbed by them. Simply focus on your breathing without reacting to or playing with those thoughts. Recognize them as thoughts, and they will disappear by themselves. And remember, keep bringing your awareness back to your Dharma breathing center. If you continue practicing meditation for a long period of time, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation, in which the mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, with no distinction between self and others, time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and alert spirit.
Our meditation practice continues. Please open up your chant booklets to pages 4 and 5 to chant the Ilwan Song Vow and the Heart Sutra, led by John.
Ilwan Song Vow. Ilwan is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and unbeing, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings. One manifests as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanence. One unfolds into an infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is viewed as impermanence. One unfolds into infinite worlds through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the 4 forms of birth, we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. For we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwan Song, the Dharma Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, receiving grace rather than harm, till we attain the great empowerment of Ilwan, become one with the nature of Ilwan. Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing Prajnaparamita, realized that all 5 aggregates are empty, and thus became free from all suffering and distress. Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. The same is true of sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness. Shariputra, all dharmas are empty. They do not appear or disappear, not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease. In emptiness, no form, no sensations, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind consciousness.
let's take a moment to stretch our bodies a little bit. Let's raise your arms up. Stretch. And release. Take the right ear to the right shoulder. Vice versa. The left ear to the left shoulder. Bring the head back, looking up to the ceiling. And forward, chin to chest. And slowly make a circle in one direction with your head. The opposite way. Come back to center. I'm going to roll the shoulders back. And forward. And then twist to one side. Remembering to breathe. Twist to the other side. And you can stretch out your legs and rub your knees. And circle the ankles a little bit. And you can shake out your legs if you want, if you have some room. Now please make yourselves comfortable. We will now hear a Dharma talk given by Reverend Ginger, and the title of her talk is Trusting the Wind, Where Self-Power Meets Other Power. So let us please bring our palms together to welcome Reverend Ginger.
Morning.
Good morning.
Have you ever done everything you could and still nothing seemed to get better? You looked for advice. You tried a different solution. You worked harder. You worried more. But nothing changed. Sometimes, despite all our effort, the situation remains beyond our control. A few years ago, I went through a period of unexplained physical pain and symptoms. It was not a life-threatening illness, but for a while, I had ongoing headaches and stomach pains, along with diarrhea and vomiting. Too awful. I took medicine. I tried to rest. I did everything I could think of, but I did not seem to be getting better. The physical pain was difficult, but there was also another kind of pain, the pain created by my own mind. Why am I still sick? What else can I do? My body was already suffering, but my mind kept struggling against the reality of that moment. Then, at one point, a very simple thought arose. Oh, there is nothing more I can do right now. I just have to wait. The symptom did not immediately disappear, but something inside me loosened. It felt as though I had been gripping something so tightly with both hands and had finally opened them. I stopped fighting against the reality of the moment. And then my symptoms slowly began to improve. And by the next morning, I was feeling much, much better. Oh, I didn't expect this. So I'm not saying that I was healed simply because I let go. I'm not saying that. it may have been for my body, it may have been time for my body to improve and recover. But something important had already changed before my body got better. The situation had not changed, but my relationship to that situation had changed. I think this is one way we can understand letting go. In English, we sometimes use the word surrender for this experience. But surrender can sound heavy. It may suggest defeat, losing a battle, or giving up all control. This is not what I meant and what I mean. Surrender or letting go does not mean that we stop caring or avoid responsibility. It does not mean that we become passive and wait for someone else to solve our problems. Letting go means doing what is ours to do without demanding that life obey our will. So how is different from letting go? How is letting go different from giving up? Both may begin with this same realization: I cannot control this through my own strength. But what follows is very different. Giving up says, I do not care what happens. Letting go says, I cannot control everything, but I will still do what is mine to do. When treatment is needed, we receive treatment. When action is needed, we take action. But after doing what we can, we release our grip on the outcome. Letting go is not the abandonment of effort. It is the release of our demand that our effort must produce the result we want. One Buddhism teaches that we need both self-power and other power in order to live well. We are not taught to depend only on ourselves, but we are not taught to sit back passively and wait for an outside power to take care of everything. We make our own effort while trusting the grace and support that sustain our lives. Think of a bird in flight. The bird beats its wings to rise into the air. But imagine how exhausting it would be if the bird had to flap its wings every single moment in the air. When the bird meets the wind, it spreads its wings and allows the wind to carry it. Have you seen that? Yes? I do see that all the time here. The wing beats represent self-power. The wind represents other power, the support that comes from beyond the isolated self. And gliding is the moment when the two work together. The bird is not giving up when it rides the wind. It is still awake, still moving, and still adjusting its wings. But it is no longer relying only on its own strength. In the same way, our lives are never sustained by our own effort. When I was sick, I took medicine and rested. And I actually looked for advice. That was my part. But recovery also depended on my body's natural rhythm and ability to heal, and the care I received, the passage of time, and many causes and conditions I could not fully see or control. Even what we call my effort is supported by countless relationships. We breathe because there is air. We eat because of the labor of many people. We practice this Dharma because teachers and communities have preserved the Dharma and passed it on to us. this larger web of causes, conditions, relationships, and grace is already supporting our lives. In Won Buddhism, we understand this support through Dharma, Kaya, Buddha, fourfold grace, which symbolizes circle up here. The fourfold grace is not a distant power that magically removes every difficulty. It is the truth that our lives are possible only through the support of the whole. To trust fourfold grace is to remember that we do our part, but we do not carry life alone. We may think that letting go is needed only during illness, loss, or a major crisis. But most of our practice happens in smaller moments, especially when we are certain that we are right. I'm so right. Here at the One Dharma Center, our busy season begins in the spring and continues through the summer. After working at that pace for a long time, the mind can become tired and narrow. Small mistakes begin to look much bigger than they really are. Recently, I noticed this in myself. My first thought was, this needs to be corrected. But underneath it was another thought, I am right, so this should be done my way. Wanting to handle something well is not the same as insisting that it be handled my way. When I hold tightly to my own view, the tension enters my voice, my face, and my actions. Even when my words are correct, the way I speak may cause another person to close their heart. Do you sometimes experience this? Yes? Good. So this is not only my story. At that point, I may be protecting my opinion more than caring for the situation. Letting go does not mean pretending that nothing is wrong or remaining silent when something needs to be addressed. It means loosening my attachment to my own view long enough to ask, what response would be wise and appropriate right now? I may still need to speak clearly or take action. But when I release the need to control the other person or the outcome, I can see more clearly what is actually mine to do. I think this is also letting go. So, how can you practice this in daily life? I'd like to suggest 3 simple steps. Reset, widen, entrust. Reset before the difficulty. Widen in the middle of the difficulty. Entrust after doing your part. So first, reset the mind. Resetting is the practice we do before a particular challenge appears. In the morning and evening, we pause and remember the direction in which we want to live. I like to call this resetting the mind to 0. Before we use a scale or measuring instrument, we make sure the starting point is set to 0. If the starting point is off, everything measured afterward will also be off. The mind is the same. Without pausing, our desires, fears, and habits quietly become the standard for everything we do. What do I want? How can I make things go my way? Prayer brings us back to a different center. We would pray, may my mind and energy be aligned with truth. Prayer is not asking the larger order of life to conform to our wishes. It is allowing our wishes to be examined within a wider truth. Resetting does not prevent us from becoming angry, anxious, or confused, but it gives us a direction to return to when we lose our balance. Second, widen the circle. This is the practice we use when a challenge has already appeared. Suppose someone says something that makes you angry, or something happens and you immediately feel hurt. At that moment, imagine drawing a small circle in your mind. Small circle. Inside the circle, acknowledge what is happening. I am angry. I'm so angry. I feel disrespected. I want to say something right now to that person. We do not deny these feelings or push them away. We simply recognize them honestly. Then draw a little larger circle around the first one. Inside this larger circle, include the other person and the wider circumstances. This person may be under pressure. There may be something that I do not see. The larger circle does not erase the smaller one. The anger is still present, but it no longer fills the entire mind. It becomes one part of the big reality. So inside this small circle, we only see this is everything. Inside the larger circle, we can see this is real, but it is not the whole. Do you see what we are going to do? As the circle widens, space opens between what we feel and how we respond. Within that space, we can choose again. Third, entrust the outcome. Once we have widened our view, we ask, what is mine to do? Perhaps I need to speak honestly. Perhaps I need to listen, wait, or set a boundary. Letting go does not always appear gentle. Sometimes the wise response is firm. We do what is ours to do with sincerity. Then we release what is not ours to control. So we may remind ourselves, I have done what I can. I entrust the outcome to Dharma Kaya Buddha fourfold grace. Entrusting does not mean that the result no longer matters. It matters, actually. It means that our inner peace is not completely dependent on the result. Our intention, action, and sincerity are ours. The final outcome belongs to the whole web of causes and conditions. This is where self-power and other power meet. We make our effort, and then we trust. What might change if we practiced this way? Our difficulties is all gone? No. Our life will not always follow our plans, and there will be difficulties. We'll encounter them every day, but we would have more space between what happens and how we respond. We could speak honestly without trying to defeat another person. And then things do not turn out as we hoped. We could learn and adjust without carrying the burden of believing that everything was ours to control. Letting go does not make us weaker. It allows us to use our strength more wisely. And this is not one dramatic decision that we make only once. It is a small and repeated practice. Reset the direction of the mind. Widen the circle so that one thought or emotion does not become the whole mind. And do what is yours to do, and entrust what is not yours to control. There will still be times when we need to beat our wings. Effort, discipline, and courage will always be necessary. But beating our wings harder is not always the answer. Sometimes we need to trust the wind that is already there. And perhaps this is what surrender can mean in our daily lives. Doing our part fully without demanding that life follow our will, and allowing ourselves to be supported by something greater. Make sense? Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Ginger. I love as she talked about how the birds glide, that space of meeting together and the gliding. And then I think we need movement, because it's a wonderful reminder, right? So we have this, when we practice, we reset. Can we do a movement? Like we reset, widen, and trust, or something. We need something. And reset, widen our heart, and trust. Something. Yeah, you'll figure it out. So let us now open our booklets to reset, to read the essential dharmas of daily practice on page 6, led by Jeff.
Essential dharmas of daily practice. 1. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. 2. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. 3. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. 4. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. 5. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. 6. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. 7. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. 8. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. 9. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all.
So now I have a special announcement or introduction to make. We have, once a year, we get a lovely visit from the board members of the Won Institute of Graduate Studies, and they're here. And if you don't know that we have a graduate program in Philadelphia, that we have a Won Buddhist Studies program and also acupuncture, and so you should check that out. But I was going to see if they would mind standing. You can see in the back of the room, the board members all. It's always an honor to have them visit with us, and they work so hard, so very, very grateful that you're here today. 감사합니다. So I have 2 more announcements to make. We have Labor Day weekend retreat coming up. So if you'd like to deepen your practice as we go into the season, you can find that information online and in the foyer. And after this, we have our circle gatherings. So we have separate women's gathering in here, and then we'll have men's gathering in the foyer. So please stay for that. It's lovely. And to end our, well, not to end, let's open up our booklets to page 9 to read the morning, or sing, excuse me, the morning prayer song. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today, full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with your grace. Today, gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day with compassion. Today, making the world a more loving place. May I do all that I can for one world. Thank you for your practice this evening. This morning, I'm a little bit lost. I'm thinking actually that we should spend a moment. That's why I'm a little lost. Let's spend a moment because we do have some people who are suffering in our community. Let's dedicate the merit to those people. We have Leslie, who is undergoing a medical procedure, and we also have Gary and Peggy, who are losing their Peggy's mom is at the end of her life. So this morning, let us take a moment to sit in prayer for them. And if you don't know them, you can just say their names. For Leslie, Peggy, Gary. Thank you for your practice this morning. May you glide into your every single moment.